Alright, hey, Hades Mega here, and so this is part of the WR250E Chronicles videos, and so in the last video, I made a video about building some battery models to fit in the WR250E, alright? And so we decided on this one, alright? So right here it says Amorge 20S 10P 72 volt 40 amp hour 250 amp battery. Okay, so that's the battery that I decided to get. There was a 44 amp hour battery. There's a 42 amp hour battery also. Okay, yeah, we want to cram as much amp hours into that bike as we can, alright? Because you don't want to be stuck on the trails, right? So there's nothing worse than getting stuck on the trails because your battery died. Okay, but yeah. So there's a 40, 42, and 44 that I was looking at. The 42 is with the Moly cell P42 alpha cells, okay? And so what we found out is that battery is expensive, okay? Because Moly cell batteries are expensive. I know because I have 2 battery packs that have Moly cells in it, all right? And they are expensive, all right? Especially when you buy them in America. Okay, that's why we're buying it from China, all right? Things are cheaper in China. Hazebag is trying to save as much money as they can on this bike build, okay? Anyway, so Amorge builds custom battery packs, all right? And so this video is about me ordering it, okay? So I actually ordered it last night, all right? After kind of two days after I shot the last video, okay? So in the last video we found out that this is the battery that we want, all right? It's got the dimensions that we want. It's got the capacity that we want. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I would have loved to get the 44 amp hour battery. That would have been pretty good, all right? But it was too long, okay? I don't think we could have fit that in the bike, all right? With the battery we got, it's just wider than the battery that's in the bike right now, okay? So I can deal with that. And I feel that the little model I made is actually a little bit bigger than it should be, okay? Than the real battery. But we won't know that until we get the actual battery from Amorge, okay? And also, I'm not really sure how you say Amorge, all right? Is it Amorge? Amorge? Amore? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't really. I just call it Amorge, okay? It sounds French or something, okay? Or Italian. Anyway, so yeah, let's go take a look at the battery real quick. Or you know what? I'm just gonna talk about it, and then we'll go look at the webpage. Okay, so so this is gonna be basically my vlog about how I ordered the battery. Okay, it's kind of a mystery how you buy these batteries. All right, but basically you buy them through Alibaba. Okay, and I've never used Alibaba before. What Alibaba is a website where you can order products through manufacturers, and then they can make like a certain amount of them or something, and then ship them over to you. Okay, so that type of thing. But yeah, so Amorge is a custom battery builder in China. Okay, and they build different kinds of batteries, and that's the one that we were gonna buy. Okay, and so on their website they list a bunch of names for people, like salespeople. All right, salespeople who to contact if you want to buy a battery from them. And there's a couple ways to get in contact with them. All right, you could do it on Facebook Messenger. I watched some YouTube videos on this. Okay, Facebook Messenger. All right, you can get in contact with some of the salespeople on Facebook Messenger. You can email them. All right, I think they have email for all the salespeople and Amorge in general. Or you can use WhatsApp, okay? So Haze Mega used the WhatsApp route, all right? So from what everybody is telling me and what I've seen is Alan is the guy that you want to look into, all right? However, I sent Alan a message the night I shot the last video, and I basically told him, hey, I want to buy this battery. I put the web page that I was looking at the battery, this one right here, okay? And then, and I told them, well, I asked them, like, what size, is there an option for a metal case? and does it make the battery bigger, all right? And then I told them I'm from San Jose, California, USA, okay? So they know where you're going to ship it to, right? Or who they're working with, okay? And I got crickets, all right? No answer after like a day, okay? So I decided, all right, you know what? I'm going to go send the message to Grace, okay? So Grace is one of the other salespeople, and I see that she posts stuff on Facebook and stuff. So I send the same message to Grace on WhatsApp, and crickets, okay? But then I got a reply in like 2 hours or something. I was working, and then she sent me a message, and I wasn't busy, so I answered her, okay? And then so I basically sent the same information I sent before. This is the battery. Do you have a metal cases for it? And how much is or this is where I'm located, okay, that type of thing. She sent me a list, a picture of different batteries, okay? It's like a spreadsheet with different batteries in it, all right? We can take a look at it, all right? And then she showed me, and the one that I wanted was highlighted, okay? And just I guess just to make sure that's the one I wanted. And I told her it was the one with the Lycian cells, right, and all the specs and stuff on it. And so what she said about the metal case, all right, this is the bummer thing, guys. If you put it in a metal box, it's gonna be bigger, and it's gonna be heavier, all right? So I said, oh, dadgummit. I'm like, I can't really have it any bigger than it is right now, unfortunately, okay? That's the problem. So that's a scoop, guys. So I decided, it's going to cost more, it's going to be heavier, and it's going to be bigger, all right? So, and like, really what kills it is the bigger part. I don't mind if it's heavier. I like that it's stronger and more waterproof and all that stuff, okay? I'm not really planning to ride my bike in the rain, but okay. I guess that's what's good about having a battery that's kind of tall in the frame. It'll be, when you do water crossings, the batteries don't get as wet. Okay, guys. Anyway, so I 86 the idea about getting the metal case. Okay, it would have been nice. All right, I would have preferred to get the metal case, but I don't think it would have fit in the bike. Okay, guys. And Hazme is planning to add like a strap to the battery so I can carry it, pull it in and out of the bike. So I don't really need the case, all right? Because the case comes with a handle, all right? There's a handle on it. Okay, I'm looking through the WhatsApp WhatsApp chat logs. Anyway, so I also asked her how long would it take to get my battery, right? Like I told her, I'm in San Jose, California. How long is it gonna take for C-mail shipping, all right? I think it's C-mail shipping. And Hayes Mega has shipped a couple things through C-mail, and lately it's been doing pretty good. It's been like 2 months, all right? You put it on a boat, and it gets here, and then they ship it to you UPS or something, okay? And so that's pretty much what C-shipping is, okay? And she said that it's going to take... So here's another thing. There's going to be a holiday in China, okay? And I think for like a whole week, all the stores are like closed and shit. Okay, all the stores and factories closed for like a whole week, all right? It's Lunar New Year, all right, guys, is what it is, all right? Chinese New Year is what they call it, all right? Chinese New Year, I think it's called Lunar New Year, you know? Okay, it's Gung Hei Fa Choi, you know, right? And so that's the holiday that's going on. And so she said, like, they'll put the order in. So what's going to happen is they're going to put the order in, and then they're not going to be able to get to it until like a week after Lunar New Year. And then they're going to, and then it takes a week to manufacture the batteries, all right, because they have to actually build them. It's kind of weird because I didn't have them build this customized battery. It was just the battery that was on their website. So I figured if I choose one that, like, you know, the specs on the website, that they'd already have it built already and they just ship it to you right away, right? Well, it looks like they're going to build it from scratch, okay, guys? That's what they do. They build batteries, right? They're like Qi battery systems in the U.S., right? But they're in China, right? It seems like a much bigger operation than Qi battery systems as well, okay? I think they build batteries for like a lot of different stuff, okay? and that's why they're on Alibaba. Okay. She said the sea transportation takes 6 to 8 weeks. Oh no, I asked her. So what I asked her is, will it get to me before April? And she said, yes, we can get it to you before April with the sea mail shipping option. There is airmail, all right. The airmail I think is faster. I think they can get it to you like in a month or something, or less. But it costs twice as much, all right. Hayes Mag is trying to save money here, man, right? That's the reason I bought these Chinese batteries, man. And so she said it will take 7 weeks. Okay, it takes 6 to 8 weeks, all right, for Amorge for the shipping company to ship it to you. Okay, 6 to 8 weeks. So it takes. They're not going to start until February, pretty much. That's what she's saying, and then it's going to take a week to manufacture the battery, and then they're going to ship it. So that's already 2 weeks. She said it takes like 6 weeks to ship it here. So she said it's going to take about 7 weeks if I order it now. Okay, something like that. Okay, so she told me she guesstimated 7 weeks, but it could take longer if there's some kind of issue with customs. All right, and oh yeah. So here's another thing, guys. Oh yeah. This may bite me in the ass. I'm not sure. So freaking President Trump won the presidency for 2025 and the next 4 years. Okay, guys, not my favorite guy. All right, and he's wants to put tariffs on all the China stuff. All right, he wants to make America great again. What can I say? Okay, he wants to make America great again. It's gonna make our Chinese, Chinese imports more expensive with these freaking tariffs. All right, so that's another reason I'm rushing to try to get these orders in. All right. So I put the order in last night, alright? So 2 nights after I shot the last video. Like that night, the night I was chatting with her, I said, hey, I'm ready to order like right now. I want these batteries now because it takes a long time to get them, alright? It's going to take like 2 months for me to get them. Alright, it's the middle of January right now, so I think 7 weeks is just before April, alright? So which is perfect, okay? I need them before Virginia City Grand Prix. Okay, it would be nice to get them. The sooner the better. All right, the sooner I get them, the better, because we still need to do testing and stuff on them. Okay, but I ordered 3 of them, guys. 3 batteries. All right, the battery is roughly $700. We can take a look at the invoice. All right, so yeah, I said okay, yeah, I'm ready to order. Let's go. I'm down. So she said there's 3 ways to do the payment. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. You can do a bank transfer, okay? That's where like you give them your routing number and all that stuff, and then they take the money straight from your bank. You can do PayPal, all right? But she said for PayPal there's a 4% fee or something, okay? And 4%, it's gonna cost. Yeah. So the whole order cost with the shipping and everything is gonna be like $2,300, all right? Somewhere around between $2,300 to $2,400. We'll look at the invoice, okay, guys? Anyway, so it's yeah. So PayPal, I was like, oh damn it. Well, 4% of 2,000 something is a lot, okay? So I said, fuck it, don't do that. And then Alibaba, okay? So I hate to say it, Hayes Mega doesn't have the money to buy the batteries right now. I gotta use credit, all right? So I use Alibaba, all right? Yeah, I use Alibaba and I use my credit card to pay for the batteries. Okay, so Hayes Mega is gonna be like in freaking debt for a little bit. Okay, yeah, I didn't have all the money to buy the batteries right now, so I needed to use a credit card. So PayPal, you can use a credit card. Bank transfer, obviously you can't use a credit card because you're using your bank account, right? A checking account or something. So ideally, yeah, if you want to save some money, do the bank routing, all right, the bank account, bank transfer or something, all right. If you do it that way, there'll be no fees. Okay, I did it through Alibaba, and they have a credit card. You pay by credit card, and then there was a $70 fee. Okay, I think, yeah. The only way to get out of like any kind of fees is to pay with cash. All right, through your bank account. All right. And I have to use my credit card, okay, guys? And they charged me like a $70 service fee or some shit, man. I was like, oh, dadgummit. All right, that's a good thing I bought 3 of them. How the $70 fee comes in, I don't know how they do that. Okay, what if you're ordering something that's not very expensive? Is it still $70? I don't know. All right, but yeah. But anyway, if you do it through Alibaba, you know, I feel it's safer. Like, you'll probably get your money back if you don't get your batteries. Okay, so it works kind of like AliExpress, sort of, kind of, but it's more for like businesses, like business transaction, right? It's not really for consumers. Okay, but yeah, okay, and yeah, so I paid that way, and I have to pay that stupid $70 fee. I'm like, all right, I'll pay the stupid fee. All right. And yeah, and that's it. And I got my order in, and I'll hopefully get it in 7 weeks. She said she'll update me on the status of the what's going on. Okay, but hopefully we get it in like 2 months. All right, it's January right now, so 2 months would be March, just before April. Yeah, I know, we're right there, man. Like, and it could take even longer, guys. So yeah, who knows? And then who knows what's going to happen with the Trump dealie, all right? Trump is going to take office at the end of this month, I guess. And hopefully the tariffs thing doesn't go through so fast. Okay? Now, hopefully it doesn't affect my order, all right? Because Waze wanted to do this to save money, all right? My goal was to build an Ultra B killer bike that costs the same as an Ultra B, but I can race it already, all right? Because if I bought an Ultra B, it would be $6,000, and then I would still have to modify it. It'd probably wind up being like a $10,000 bike, okay? So I'm trying to build a race bike that would be cheaper than the Ultra B race bike, okay? Anyway, let's go take a look at the invoice and the Alibaba site, okay? Okay, guys, if you didn't know, this is the battery that we were buying, all right? Amorge 20S 10P. Oh, yeah, so there's also something interesting, all right? Something nice that happened, all right? because I'm ordering the batteries now, okay? So this is the Amorge 20S 10P 72 volt 40 amp hour 250 amp battery, okay? It's got 250 amp max continuous discharge, and then a peak of 350 amps. All right, it's 40 amp hours, or 2,880 kilowatt hours, 72 volt nominal. It can do 15 kilowatt and 25 kilowatt, okay? Now, they say there's a Lytion, it's using Lytion 21700 LA cells, okay? ANT Bluetooth BMS, QS8 or QS10, all right, and these are the dimensions, all right? As long as the dimensions are the same ones that are in the picture, we'll be fine, I hope. Hopefully it's the same ones that are in the picture. I would think so. I don't think the cells would change any size, right? Okay, this is the Alibaba site, but okay, this is my order info here. Okay, it was $2,364. Okay, guys, and she wrote the invoice up somewhere else. Okay, we'll check the invoice out. All right, there's the order details. Okay, so I ordered it, I paid it, and then now they still have to produce the product. Okay, and then they're going to ship it. All right, so. They'll keep me up to date. All right, this is their company, Shenzhen AWG Technology. Okay, that's me, Merlin Valencia, and then that's my invoice. Okay, it's a 72 volt 40 amp hour 250 amp battery pack. Okay. Okay, so there's my invoice, guys. All right, so there's the Amorge letterhead, I guess, for the invoice. They're called Shenzhen AWG Technology. This is Grace's contact information, so if you want to go buy a battery from her, there's the info, okay, guys? Her name is Grace Liao. That's her WhatsApp phone number. Like I mentioned, I used WhatsApp to contact her, okay? Apparently she has Skype, she has an email, and she has an address, okay? And then, yeah. Okay. So this is the part number for the battery. It's a AWJ250109er Golf 01. Okay, I think that's the part number for it. That's the date I ordered it, January 9th, 2025, and the currency is in US dollars. Okay, so this is the this is the battery that I ordered. Okay, this is a 72 volt, 40 amp hour, 250 amp battery with the peak of 400 amps. All right, so I said I wanted the Lycian batteries. So what she told me is they don't sell the Lycian batteries anymore. They use EVE40P batteries now. Okay, it's so from what I've heard that the EVE batteries. What she told me is that the EVE batteries have a more consistent voltage. Okay, the voltages are the same, and I can kind of believe that because the voltages are not very consistent on the battery that I have right now. Okay, the Amorge battery that has the Lycian cells. So I actually got to upgrade, guys. All right, I got to upgrade from the Lycian cells to the EVE40P. All right, I know about Lycian and EVE because I buy lithium iron phosphate batteries. Okay, guys. And I think I have a set of EVE batteries and I have a set of Lycian batteries. Okay, so they are very comparable. All right, and for what I heard, the EVE40P battery is very comparable to a Molicel P42. Okay, it just doesn't have as much power. Okay, yeah. So I asked her. She messed up on the invoice. It said 200 amp and 280 amp peak. Okay, and on the website it says 250 amp and 350 amp peak. Okay, but with this EVE40P cell, we can do 250 amp continuous, 400 amp peak. All right, so these batteries are actually all right. So these EVE batteries are actually better than the Lycian cells. Okay, and they cost the same. All right, so I'm not really paying any more for a better cell. Okay, guys. So that's good. All right, that's the reason we wanted to go with the Lycian cells, is because best bang for your buck. Okay, guys. And these EVE ones are even better bang for your buck. Okay, guys. And then, so those are the dimensions: 6 inches by 9 inches by 10 inches. But if you look in the picture of the website, it's like it's actually a 6 by 8 3/4, and like it's a 9 and it's a 9 3/8 or something like that. Okay, so it's not quite 10. I think they round up. Okay, to give you the dimensions. All right, and then so they're $694 each, man. Can you believe that? A 72 volt, 40 amp hour battery pack for $700 each. What a bargain. Okay, my Qi battery is 72 volt, 38 amp hours. All right, I'm not gonna lie, it's a much higher quality. It's a higher quality cell. It's the Molicel cells, guys. However, it costs like 3 times as much as this. Okay, so just think about how good a deal Hades Mega is getting here. For one of those Qi batteries, okay, that I bought, you can buy 3 of these batteries. Okay, it's insane, right? It's insane how good a deal this is. All right, except yeah, we don't have the metal case. Okay. Anyway, so the unit price is $694, and I ordered 3 of them. All right, so the total wound up being $2,082. All right. And then, so the wires and connectors, guys, all right? So, man, there's going to be some thick-ass wires. 4 gauge, guys. So, the discharge connector is a QS10, all right? If you guys know what a QS10 is, it's big. It's a big connector, all right? It's an 8mm connector. I have one on the Sauron, and it's big. I hate it, okay? But she said that it's a better connector, and she recommended that one, okay? For this battery, okay? So I said, okay, that's fine. It's not a big deal as long as you give me the harness for it. So they do give you the harness. You can see there on the right there is the picture of what you get. All right, there's the battery. You're gonna get a battery harness with like, it looks like only like a foot of cable. I may have to make my own harness. Okay, it's not a big deal. I made one for the Sauron, so. And then there's a 5 amp charger. Okay, so I'm gonna get 3 of those, guys. Okay, yeah, 72 volt 5 amp charger, and I got 3 of them. I kind of wanted to ask her, saying, hey, you know, can you just give me like 1 10 amp charger? But I don't need extra chargers, guys. I've got 3 Qi battery variable chargers, and I've got a Lightspeed Bikes charger. All right, I've got 4 72-volt chargers. I don't need any more. All right, actually I have 5 because I have a 220-volt charger. Okay, so yeah, I don't need any more 72-volt chargers. That's the reason I went with 72 volts, because I have all the chargers and infrastructure for it already. Okay. All right. Also, the charge connector is a XT60. That's great because that's what I'm running on my other chargers. And then the cable for that is a 12 gauge. All right. So we got 4 gauge and 6. This is gonna be some thick ass wires coming out of this battery. Okay. Why? Because we're pushing more current than volts compared to the 84-volt battery. Okay, guys. That's the reason. All right. When you have more current. So, I mean, hey, a lot of the money in these batteries is, yes, the batteries and then the wiring. All right, there's a lot of wiring in the batteries, guys. So if I get a bigger wire, you know, for the same price, then that's fine. Okay. Okay, so the product cost is $2,082, and then the shipping cost is $282. Oh, it's $282. Oh, that's pretty good. It's not $282 per battery. It's just $282. I think that's a good deal. I think. Let's go to the Alibaba website. Okay, this is the Alibaba website, and so if you go here, it can kind of guesstimate you. It can kind of guesstimate for you how much everything is. Okay. So the battery is $686. That's the right price. Okay. So the shipping fee is $200 for one piece, right? So let's put 3. Right, for 3 pieces it's $500, guys. So like, I guess I got a discount, right? All right, so it looks like I got a discount on the shipping, guys, because it was $282 for the shipping, and I think that's like the price. It's the price for like 2 batteries or something. I think 3 batteries is like close to $500, guys. So I got a good deal. All right, and then yeah, it's gonna be shipped to the USA by sea. Okay, and the total winds up being $2,364. All right, that's about how much a Qi battery costs. Okay, guys, I get all that stuff. All right, all this stuff right here. All right, times 3 for $2,364, guys. That's amazing. All right, I don't know if I'm gonna have to pay any kind of taxes. Let me see. 2364. Okay, here's the transaction details on Alibaba. So I used a credit card, and it was a $2,364. All right, like she quoted me, and then there's a $70 transaction fee. So I think total $70, 70 and 60. It wound up being like $420 or something. Okay, so yeah, somewhere around there, $420, $430. All right, guys, and so that's a scoop. That's the 411 on my battery order. Okay, so that's how I did it. I used WhatsApp. I contacted Grace. All right, I told her what I wanted, and then she drew up an invoice for me, and then I paid for it. All right, so I should be getting it in 7 weeks. All right, guys. So I will have another. I'll keep you guys up to date on what happens with the battery. Okay, guys. But in 7 weeks we should have it. All right, so we'll check it out then. All right. In the meantime, Hayes Mega is going to go install the EBMX controller onto the bike, and I still have the 84-volt battery. Okay, so I don't know what we're going to do with the 84-volt battery. I'm probably going to sell it when I get the 72-volt batteries. All right, I don't need 4 batteries for this bike. All right, honestly, I really only want 2 batteries for this bike, but to race Virginia City Grand Prix, gotta have 3 batteries. Okay, so the more the merrier. Okay, hopefully they'll all be in good shape. All right, is what I want to say. Yeah, so also I'm pretty happy with what happened. All right, with the Eve cells. All right, I didn't know I was gonna get the Lycian cells because that's what's inside the battery that is in the bike currently. Okay, the 84-volt battery. It's running those Lycian LA cells. Okay, and so we got like a free upgrade. Okay, so they said they don't sell the Lycian cells anymore. They're going to the Eve cells. Okay. So we're going to be using the E40P. All right, it's still a Chinese battery, okay, and that's why it's cheap, okay. Ideally, yeah, it would be nice to have the Moly cell batteries. They're higher performance, all right, but we're trying to strike a balance, all right, a compromise between cost and performance, okay, guys. These are much cheaper, but they're not as high performance. Do we really need that high performance? Not really, okay. I mean, if I want to go faster, I could use the 84-volt battery I have right now, I guess. You know, we'll see. We'll see how it is when we get that EBMX controller on there. I'm not very happy with the far driver controller. Okay, and Hades Mega is also keeping tabs on the cost of the bike. Okay, so of the bike project and the bike build, that type of thing. All right, I'm keeping a spreadsheet that's got all the costs associated with it in there. Okay, so Hades Mega is keeping track of everything, and then at the end of the project, right, basically after we race Virginia City Grand Prix, and I got my trail attack bike ready, we'll see how much it costs to build it. Okay. Honestly, man, you know, if I was to do it myself, I know if I did everything by myself, I bought like a roller frame, I bought a motor and I installed it myself, and bought the EBMX controller. I think we would have been a lot cheaper. Okay, but I have to buy a bike that was already thing. All right. So the good thing is I do have a extra 250cc motor for the bike. So, or his 250cc engine. Excuse me, motor would be electric, right? Yeah, the engine, I could sell the engine and get some money back, okay? But Hades Mega's kind of tinkering with the idea of getting a WR250 roller, put the motor in it, and then I wanted to turbocharge it, okay? Because once upon a time there used to be a kit to turbocharge a WR250R, all right, guys, and make I wanted to make a supermoto out of it, all right, and race it with a turbo 250, right? That'd be insane, right? Anyway, so that's a scoop, guys. Yeah, so that's where we're at with the project right now. I've got the batteries ordered, and then I'm gonna install the controllers in the next video, okay? And then we'll work on the suspension after that, and then we go install the new batteries when they get here. Okay, so everything is going pretty good. All right, I think the goal is to get the bike ready for Virginia City Grand Prix. All right, ideally I would like to have it ready before that and race the Wild Wabbit or the Hairball. Whatever the Hollister Hills race, the very first race that we raced the WR250E in, like in November, right? Well, I want to race the one in like March or April. Okay, hopefully it'll be before the Virginia City Grand Prix, and then we'll get some practice with the bike. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be doing battery swaps, but yeah, we'll have to practice swapping the battery too. So I'm not really sure how everything is going to go, but that's how it is. Okay, guys? Like I said, I'm keeping track of all the costs and everything. Okay, so anyway, that is my Amorge buying experience video, alright, guys? It was pretty painless, if I do say so myself. I've heard a lot of good things about Amorge, and I have one of their batteries, so yeah. Okay. Ideally, it would have been nice to get the metal case, then I wouldn't have to worry about damaging the battery on anything. So, yeah, man. Maybe I can... Well, yeah, I can't put a case over that. So, that's a scoop, guys. That's what's going on. And I will keep you guys up to date on the battery stuff, alright, if I hear anything. Okay, but I should get it around the March time. Yeah. Somewhere like in mid or late March, we should get the batteries, okay? And it should be good. Okay? Pretty excited. Alright. The thing that sucks is, yeah, I don't really know what we can use these other batteries for. if I decide to get a different bike, that type of thing. Alright, I'll be kind of stuck with batteries thing. Yeah, and so I'm also pretty happy with the specs of the battery, okay? It was originally supposed to be 250 continuous and 350 peak, all right? And so with this new Eve cells, all right, so they're probably going to update their website with the new cell that they're going to be offering, okay? They're not going to be offering the Lycian cells anymore, okay, guys? Yeah, I should have asked her about the Molly cell, but I already know that the Molly cell, it would have been well over $1,000 with the Molly cells batteries, okay? That's why I didn't want them. Okay, I want more quantity than quality. All right. So because we got the E40P battery, it bumped the performance up, all right? So instead of a 350 amp, all right, we've got a 250 amp continuous and a 400 amp peak, all right? So somewhere in between that is about 300 amps. So I would say you can pretty reliably run 300 amps through the battery and it'll be fine, okay? It won't overheat or anything, I hope. All right. So yeah, that's the dealie with that. I'm pretty happy with the little upgrade we got, all right? We got 50 more amps of performance, basically, okay? All right.